Good morning. This is VJ Franz K. It's my pleasure to discuss the drum machine Trinity 2025. This is the first part. Part A, how to choose. And what are we choosing between? Of course, we have the TONVERK, sampler from the Electron company, the latest in their complicated series of musical instruments. We have the TR1000 from Roland, the newest of the TR drum machines, classic. My favorite is the classic 909, but this new device has analog sound generators inside that are similar to the 909 to create that classic kick drum sound. Of course, the 808, very popular bass and notes. And then here in the center, we have the MPC Live 3 from Akai. It's the latest iteration of their classic sampling drum machine instrument. So let's look right into this right now, and I'll go into the different layers that we have here. So, first off, let's look at some of these other things. So, basically, I was describing each one of these instruments in a different way. And so I will once again describe that for you. Basically, I was saying that the TONVERK is like a digital sound lab where you can create complicated samplescapes with different sounds. You can rearrange samples in an amazingly different, a huge set of different ways. So it's fascinating. Always Electron is famous for their interesting workflow. So then I was thinking, how do you describe the TR1000? But I say analog EDM festival. And obviously, because you are going to hear this at real EDM events very soon, I'm sure, it's got a great sound. It has real analog generators, sound generators inside the machine, which Roland hasn't had for a long time, actual analog drum sound generators. They've used ACB, which is a simulation of the digital, of the analog generation, and it sounds very good. I've got my TR6S with me right now, but it has all of these things. It's a combination of analog and digital circuits, kind of like what Electron often does. But then describing the MPC Live 3 as a mobile studio, because it has the microphone preamps with phantom power included right on the machine, and that is amazing. It's very useful for live recording, and they've included a microphone right in the middle of the unit here, so that is excellent to be able to record anywhere that you want at any time. And it's got these monitor speakers on the front. I did have the MPC Live 2 for a while, but I'm very interested in the MPC Live 3. A lot of possibilities to record my music and the music of my friends and associates. So, yes. Anyway, let me look into, there's a lot of layers in this document. So we'll switch off some of these. And interesting circuits. These are the inside circuits of the MPCE pads. But I thought it was cool to look at them and just see. So anyway, what could we say about the TONVERK? And I'll turn off these text titles also. See, here it is, and there we go. All right, the TONVERK, it is a polyphonic multi-sampler and audio processor. And that's interesting. There are so many different ways to use the samples that you get. It includes samples, but obviously if you're buying a sampler, you're probably buying it so you can sample in more stuff. And it has 2 ins. I guess it's a stereo pair in there, and then it has multiple outs, so the routing is very complicated, and it can be a bit challenging to approach. Sid Mead, of course, the designer of Tron, Blade Runner, he did high-tech designs for so many sci-fi movies, so I guess they named this session after him. That's cool. Make sure and see Tron Ares in October, and let's see what else. So, the TONVERK, and the reason why I am not more interested in this is simply that my favorite Electron machines are their analog machines. Like I have an analog rhythm and I have a Syntact, and those are analog, and they make analog synthesis so relatively easy to use, and yet very controllable, very powerful. So it is a great way to deal with analog sound from synthesizers. And that is the thing that your VST synths inside your computer cannot do, is to produce true analog sound. But the TONVERK doesn't have that. So, it's all digital. And to my mind, I would rather have a giant workstation that has digital and analog in one box. I don't really like the idea that you always have to separate it into all these different machines, so you must have 2 different machines. I like to perform on one machine, or, with a few extras, as you've seen. So, yes, they'll probably will introduce a synthesizer other unit here that we can compare it to later. And, maybe I'll be more interested in that. But let's see. Then we've got to talk about the TR1000. So these are some graphics that I got from the website there. Anyway, where there was something I wanted to show you. So it's good when these devices still have MIDI, and all 3 of these beautiful devices still have classic MIDI on there. And I think it connects in with a lot of gear, but also it's strong, it's sturdy, it doesn't break. And, forgive me for saying this, but the 1/8 inch audio jacks are too easy to break. I've had them break on some of my favorite gear, and that was very unfortunate. You don't want to have to go for repairs because it can be hard to get them. Anyway, Rhythm Creator, deep sound design, analog and digital effects, all of this stuff. Yeah, I mean, they have resampling and other things. Very, very interesting. And the deciding factor for the TR1000, why I probably won't choose it, and why a lot of other people who would like to have one probably won't choose it either, is just, it's really expensive. And let's see, well, that is because it's got all of these complicated circuits and the required production. Oh yeah, here's another one, which is it's the new sampler from Teenage Engineering. The Rhythm Supertone has been rumored to be released soon. And this looks like a real product, so I think this is a real product that we're going to have announced pretty soon. It's another one, and it is definitely the lowest priced of all of these. It is simple, but good. Let's see. Okay, this is one quote that I was looking at the TR1000 website, and I really liked this quote. The interface is your instrument. And of course, they're talking about this particular instrument, which I am very much looking forward to playing one of these, where I might find it at a synthesizer shop nearby. But the interface is your instrument. What does that mean? All synthesizers are not the same. They're more different than a guitar or drums or things like that. You have to learn this complicated user interface, and if the interface goes along with your way of thinking and music making and creating, then that's going to help you. And if the interface doesn't go with what you, if the interface holds you back, then that is a problem. So what else are we talking about? Oh yes, MPC Live 3. So MPC Live 3 is another famously good user interface, originally designed by Roger Lin and made by Akai in Japan. Akai means red in the Japanese language, but here is this amazing new design where all of the pads are divided into quadrants. Basically, you can use them, and you press on the pads here and there, and it can have a different sound. So that is amazing. I love the step sequencing because my favorite drum machines have step sequencers on them. So it's like the best of both worlds in terms of sequencing when you have these nice pads for the input of your drums and other rhythm patterns. But then also the great touch strip to change your note values or other functions. You can assign it to different things. The main volume here, I would have had that on the other side of the unit, but who cares? The Q-Link knobs, which can serve a variety of different functions, you get to assign them. And then the main knob here, which changes a lot of values, but this large color touchscreen, that's good, you see. I have to wonder, the TR1000 is this, it is the most expensive of all of these, and yet, why does it have just this super retro looking black and white low resolution screen? It's like we want to. There's some of the other chips I thought were interesting. All these different, the logo there. See, turn these on. Shift this layer down. There we go. So the TR1000 has, it's just this low resolution screen, and people notice it looks a lot like Electron, doesn't it? You know, they have, there's some similarity in the design there. And I would like a real screen that you can see in more depth what you're doing, and it's like at this price they might as well put on a full color large screen flat panel. Just kidding. But somebody said, gee, why is the screen so small? And I said, that is because obviously the sliders are the focus of this design. I really like sliders. And this is a design that I enjoy using. I have a TR6S as well as a TR8S, and just great with the knobs, all of these controls here. But it doesn't have the native sound inputs. You have to have a preamp or other things, so you can't just plug a microphone directly into it. You need a preamp, so that's other things. And probably very few people will be running vocals through their TR1000. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but it is less, it's more designed for instrumental techno or DJ style performances where you're using samples, but you're not really vocalizing in your own way. The TONVERK, probably because maybe it's called that because you have to spend a lot of work learning how to use it, right? No, just kidding. No, it probably means tone work, like Kraftwerk. It means power station. So here is your tone station, your factory for tones, Fascinating. Good stuff. I think we're nearly done here. I hope this video finds you all well as you consider. This has been an amazing week or month for new drum machines. All of these are appearing sort of ahead of the NAMM show and ahead of these other shows. Not sure why they're doing that exactly, but it is an interesting way of thinking about things. Let's see. Different articles I was checking out on this subject. Yeah, that TR price is significant. Interesting graphic here. I liked looking at these MPE pads. I'll show you that just for a second. They created a highly detailed system here to sense the position of all of your hands on the pads. So there's all these choices, and yet there's still a lot of other choices too. Like I had earlier, the 1010 Bento, for example. Nice little machine. Also can be considered a mobile recording thing. And yet, I guess, maybe it has a built-in microphone or something, but it's inputs, but it doesn't have the preamps for microphone. So it doesn't seem as complete. It doesn't have auto-tune and these other vocal things that we like in there. So definitely worth a look though. So consider all of this carefully. Please subscribe, leave your comments and thoughts. I'm going to discuss this more in the coming days and weeks as we see different people putting these different devices to use. And if you already have these, tell us what you think of them so far. How are you liking the interface? The interface is your instrument. I'll say it again. This is my favorite quote for this week. And so, with that in mind, which of these interfaces that is suited for a different sort of task most fits how you like to make music? And I'm leaning towards the MPC Live 3, just because I'm a vocalist. I sing and I do spoken word, and I like to record my friends with their vocals, their guitars, keyboard, and stuff. So I think this would serve me the best in terms of traveling to perform, but also to be ready to record all of them. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave your comments and suggestions. This is the high-tech lifestyle, and we are living it to the fullest.